directly across Manhattan and then out to Long Island.
Cool. I'm excited.
Drops are at 10.
Go! Up and away! Look at this. Oh my goodness. I have never seen New York like this before.
It gives you a completely different perspective of the city.
Seriously.
The Freedom Tower.
Wow.
Ellis Island 800 for the Statue of Liberty and the turn.
Oh yes! To get this view on New York, epic.
It really is. We're going to take a right and directly over Central Park and then out to Long Island.
Nice.
Long Island is in fact the longest island in the United States, and getting to the East End from Manhattan on this very appropriately named landmass means hours spent behind the wheel of a car on the Long Island Expressway. That is unless you take flight, cut through the air, and fly the whale.
Beats the traffic, honey.
Aboard Whale Force One with owner Andrew Clark and his accomplished crew, Fly the Whale offers travelers the convenience of land and sea-based charter flights that make the world your runway.
And did you come up with the concept?
We did come up with the concept. I had initially been spending a lot of time during one summer in Nantucket, which is incredibly difficult to get to. And the name Fly the Whale came from the rich whaling history on the island.
Where do you fly?
We still fly to Nantucket today, but most of our flights go between the East River and East Hampton, Sagaponack, Montauk, and towns like that out on the eastern end of Long Island. That's why it's called the East End.
Is this the only way you like to travel?
If I had it my way, it would be the only way I would travel, but unfortunately, like everyone else, I have to ride the subway every once in a while too.
But with a slight tailwind working in our favor, in only 30 minutes, we're descending to our final destination.
Montauk.
If you look at the right-hand side of the aircraft, you can literally see the end of Long Island. Montauk's known as the end. Any further, you'd be in Europe.
How long would it take to get to Europe?
Oh, in this plane, a long time.
A long time.
Back on terra firma, my first stop is an Easton institution.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, how
Welcome
are
to
you?
Gurney's.
Thank you.
As a guest, you do have full access to the beach club. You also have full use of the spa facilities.
There are 5 eating and drinking venues on property, including Scarpetta Beach, so that in this blissful reality, you really don't need to venture too far, or at all, to feel fully satiated. And me, I'm craving a cocktail, served al fresco.
So what should I have today? Do you have like a special cocktail?
Elixir of life.
Elixir of life. Get it, girl. Okay, now for reals though, that's really good. Delicious. This is it. This is what life's about, I think.
Welcome to summer in Montauk.
I love this place. It's got everything you need.
Finally, when the coastal air is crisp and the hour is golden, make an equestrian encounter at the famed Deep Hollow Ranch and ride off into the sunset.
Deep Hollow Ranch was established in 1658.
Wow.
It's the oldest cattle ranch in the USA.
The oldest cattle ranch in the entire United States.
Yes, a lot of people think it was Texas, but it wasn't. It was here. This was all maritime grasses, which were, by the salt spray from the sea, made it very rich. So they used to drive all the herds out here to get fat for the summer and then bring them back to market and make double their money.
Beyond maintaining the proud historic tradition of raising cattle, ranch owner Kate Keogh has raised her own family on these 3,000 acres of pristine open land, offering horse and pony rides to any skill level.
I think the older I get, the more I really love the connection to nature. And there's so much that Montauk offers.
I think that's why so many families love to come.
And when the brush gives way to sand and the trees open to the expansive Block Island Sound, you know you've reached Oyster Pond, the ancient summer camp of the Montaukett Indians.
Wow. This is
Gorgeous, right?
This is it right here. Mother Nature is something else. Oh, this is beautiful.
Water is tasteless, odorless, and colorless. It contains no calories and provides no nutritional value, and yet without it, organic matter would cease to exist. Even Even still, out on the east end of Long Island, water isn't simply the giver of life, the water is a way of life.
Being outside, connecting to nature, away from phones, being with friends, I am one with the ocean.
It's basically all I know. Growing up, the ocean was like my babysitter. It's just so strong in me.
When the waves are there, that's it. Hit the water, surf. There's nothing else I'd rather do.
I've traveled all over the world, surfed the greatest waves, and still, I love coming home and catching a swell in Montauk. This is where I live. This is where I belong.
Montauk, as of late, has become a brand. Like Brooklyn before it, a name to silkscreen on t-shirts. But it's for the same reason reproductions of the Mona Lisa make millions, that surfers everywhere are likely familiar with the name Ditch Plains, because the real things are remarkable. I'm gonna be like, what's up, dudes, bros? I'm riding these waves. Is that the right way? No?
Sure is.
Surfing ditch, tell me about that.
Ditch Plains is a world-renowned surf break. It's definitely a great place to learn. We have such a beautiful beach, as you can see behind us, and perfect waves.
Suited and booted. At least I look the part. Born and bred right here in Montauk and bringing up his own family in the same fashion, Austin Eckhart, founder of Austin Surf Camp, is teaching young kids and me how to surf the waters he spent a lifetime riding.
Get acquainted with our new best friend.
Hi, best friend.
Reach straight out, and you're gonna cup your hands, and you're gonna be digging back. Paddle, 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 pop up. That's perfect.
So you're teaching kids how to surf, but is it beyond that?
It's totally beyond that. We teach these kids about rip currents, about tides. That's what I do with the kids. I come over here and say, let's go get crab hunting. We go for a beach cleanup. We walk from here to the cliffs and we clean up the beach with trash.
Like life surf school.
I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah, you can tell.
I want people to feel this passion. First, understand what the surfboard is exactly. What is it to you?
This is gonna be my connection to the waves.
I don't even know why I'm here. All the respect that I was taught as a kid, I want to give back. All right, after this wave, you're gonna jump on. Life's too short just to do something that you don't love.
Amen, honey.
And it's a surf that has continually called so many, like longtime weekender Peyton Mait, to the East End.
It's an incredible landscape, incredible waves. With that comes great people and great surfing.
Would you consider yourself a local?
No, I'm not a local. You know, I wasn't born and raised here. You know, I didn't go to school in Montauk and East Hampton, but we've had a house out here for close to 30 years.
I'm digging Montauk.
You know, it's great to see locals and then, you know, the influx of tourists, everyone kind of meshing, and, you know, surfing is really bringing them all together.
Because it can be territorial, but you do feel like there's definitely an embrace happening.
Absolutely.
It's like inevitable for people just to meet in the ocean. It's just such like a beautiful, refreshing thing. You have this. If you don't have anything else, you have the ocean and you have surfing.
Respect.
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 Out on the East End, the sea provides in more ways than one. And located off Fort Palm Bay, restaurateur Franklin Ferguson and the team behind Navy Beach are serving up casual coastal cuisine utilizing seasonal produce and locally sourced seafood.
We're actually on the physical beach, so you can have your toes in your sand and rosé in your hand.
I like that little hashtag right there.
Right off the top of my head, sorry.
During World War II, this area was used by the Navy to test torpedoes. But today, it's dishes like the fire-roasted sea scallops with chorizo.
This has bejeweled dates, huh?
Yes.
Delicious.
The coconut green curry steamed mussels with jalapeno, smoked bacon, and cilantro.
I probably should have put it on my own plate, huh?
No, don't go nuts.
And the chili caramel bell pepper and balsamic coated Yunnan ribs that are truly the bomb.
Ooh, that is good. My granddad is known for his ribs, and this is definitely up there. So, why open Navy Beach here in Montauk?
The food scene has totally changed. Montauk's always been a fishing town, but there wasn't a big culinary presence here. Now, recently, within the last couple of years, a lot of attention has come to Montauk, and it's causing everybody to really amp up their game.
And what is it about Montauk? Do you think there's a cool vibe here?
You know, this was always called the Unhamptons. Out here, it was more of a blue-collar scene, and so, you know, I think that people enjoyed the quaintness of the town, and that just became more and more popular.
Have you always been a seafood guy?
I've been an everything guy. I try everything at least twice.
Wow, hey, all right.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe they could just screw it up the first time.
There is, as the saying goes, a time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted. However, without the earth, there is no harvest. And here at Amber Waves Farm in Amagansett, what lies beneath your feet is known as Bridgehampton Silty Loam.
Bridgehampton Silty Loam is this phenomenal soil that we have here on the east end of Long Island. It's this beautiful mix of sand, silt, and clay that's highly fertile, completely rock-free, glacially deposited here more than 10,000 years ago, and makes for some of the best farmland in the country.
I feel like the history of the land is like in the soil.
Yeah, people have been farming here on eastern Long Island for, 400 or 500 years. We feel so lucky and fortunate to be on this beautiful space.
And then when you're working outside, you're part of the cycles and the seasons. Farming's a lifestyle, so you kind of take on the seasonality of what you're doing every day.
Founded by farmers Katie Baldwin and Amanda Merrow, Amber Waves produces organic, environmentally sustainable food on 15 acres of land.
What is your approach?
We think of Amber Waves Farm in 3 pillars. We're an educational farm, first and foremost.
So how many different varieties of fruit and veg do you grow here?
We are doing about 300 different varieties of mixed fruits and vegetables. This is 4,000 kale plants that we're looking at right here.
4,000?
We just can't grow enough kale.
Amazing. I just want to whip up a little salad right now.
Amanda and I came out of an apprenticeship program, so we want to teach new farmers how to grow food. We want to bring eaters into the field and feed them. And the idea is just to interact with your food.
All right, hang on your hats, folks. So you're just going to pull your tomato out of your tray, place the seedling in the hole and kind of smush it against the sidewall, and then as soon as that water soaks down into the soil, the roots just take off.
I be farming, honey. I be farming.
In addition to education, we're distributing produce. So we do that through our CSA, our Community Supported Agriculture Program. So we have 150 members who sign on to the risks and the reward of the season. And then in exchange, we give them between 8 and 12 items a week that are the freshest, the prettiest, the best of what's available that time of year.
It's great, so people can come and get their groceries, so to speak, fresh off the farm.
You don't even have to think about it because we just tell you what's the best that week.
And it kind of gets a relationship of trust too as well when you come here, like, okay, I'm eating something that is meant to be on my plate.
And the final approach on this formidable farm is the Amagansett Wheat Project.
Nobody on the eastern end of Long Island was growing grains for food production. So we grow wheat, and we work with our baker Carissa at Carissa's Breads, and it kind of fills this niche in the food shed out here that was missing.
Kind of we're like Amber Waves grain.
Exactly, yeah. It's kind of this ethereal, beautiful name that we both loved.
There's a lot of positive energy coming from you guys, which I think then evolves and manifests into other positive things happening. It's a good way, I feel like, to live, and the people here will feed off that.
You put good intention into the soil, which puts good intention into the food, which puts good intention into the people, so it is all linked.
And so too is the fruit of the earth to the fruit of the vine.
Wine is love, it's my life. Everybody loves to talk about wine. Everybody drinks wine, and when you have wine, you have many friends.
The son of a wine and barrel producer, Roman Roth, Wolfer Estate Vineyards resident winemaker, was born with the libation flowing through his veins and music the beat of his heart.
Oh, that maybe gets the harmony into my wine.
Yes.
To sing alone in the barrel cellar.
Love that.
And while the melodies are all Romans, the flavors he and his team are creating are distinctly Sagaponic Long Island.
Do you feel like the climate here in the East End actually really helps produce the best wine?
Every climate in the world has wonderful things and has difficult things. But when you really squeeze out the essence of your terroir, of your vineyard, that's when you certainly taste the difference.
What is that word you just said?
Terroir, that's the French way of pronouncing it. It's everything coming together, the unique location, the unique climate, the personal touch that you give to these grapes, to this land.
Is every region then producing a unique wine?
Yes, you can say that every region has its own character.
So how would you describe the taste of your wines?
I like to celebrate acidity, so there's a freshness, an esprit, a usefulness. And if you combine that vibrancy with ripe flavors, then I think to me that's what's the best wine you can make. Powerful wines that still dance on your tongue.
Dancing and singing, honey.
Exactly.
We're on the same page, Roman, you and I.
And while you can talk wine until the cows come home to graze, it's always better to sample the goods.
On God.
The Hamptons at its best. Alawale.
There we go.
Ooh. To earth in a liquid form.
That's a good toast.
Cheers. Yep. It's good stuff right there.
Fire is primal at its core. It goes back as far as we've evolved as human beings. It's about a life force. It's heat, it's warmth, and it is essential in our lives. There's something about the nature of fire and tending a fire and then making something from fire that I really respond to.
And what was it? Why did you want to express yourself through this kind of medium?
I love the process of working with metal, but it's the immediacy and the spontaneity of working with hot metal that hooked me a long time ago.
I just don't want my hair to catch on fire. I'll
No,
be good.
we won't let that happen.
Providing demonstrations to the public within the Charles Parsons Smithy, a Springs, Long Island landmark that dates back to 1886, local artist and metallist James DeMartis wields fire and metal to his will.
And so what kind of stuff do you make?
Well, I make all manner of things. I started off as a sculptor. I make furniture and railings, gates, fences, really anything custom, decorative, one of a kind.
All across the board.
That's the beauty of working with metal and what I do. Right now, I'm actually forging the metal back into itself, making it thicker here at the end than it is elsewhere on the bar.
Oops.
That's called upsetting because the metal doesn't really like to have the molecules compressed.
Yeah, she looked a little angry.
It doesn't like to be upset.
Most of us don't.
Nicely done.
That was fun.
Perfect.
Ooh, honey.
Bridging 10,000-year-old traditions with modern-day machinery, James and his team of craftsmen continue to push the art form of metalsmithing forward within his own studio located in East Hampton.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's so dark, but then you see these vibrant, beautiful colors. Done?
Yes, done. So it's welded. We have the blacksmiths to thank for the invention of tools like these.
Whoa!
Serious equipment
That's a big tool.
that make work a lot more efficient. And they call blacksmithing the only trade that nearly invented itself out of existence.
Badass.
And that's because blacksmiths help make the tools and machinery that fueled the Industrial Revolution.
Can I press?
Woo! How much easier was that?
It's a whole nother level. I'm curious, where do you pull your creative inspiration from?
It might sound cliche, but there's something special about being on the east end of Long Island, and I also have this unending need to make things. Now we have a decorative twist.
That looks awesome.
I'm going to heat this, and you're going to hammer it down flat, and it's going to connect
Yeah.
one piece to the other.
Nailed it!
Ta-da!
Ta-da! I give you an A+, baby, baby! And you still love what you do?
Every day.
And do you feel like this is the place that you want to create forever?
Without a doubt. I found my home here.
It's the natural elements, the earth, the air, the water, and the fire that have continually beckoned the human element to the East End throughout history. And make no mistake, it's these elements that keep you coming back for more.